Good evening once again. Welcome to It's My Turn Now, where everyone gets an opportunity to express themselves, say what's on your mind, share in a topic of the week. Today, we have a very interesting subtopic. We're continuing from last week's episode of dealing with sickle cell crisis. A number of you indicated that you would like to see a part 2, and so we are going to have part 2 on today, and we're still trying to each week, as you probably aware by now, each week we struggle trying to get it to go, uh, public. So it's on private say now. We're working on getting public. Um, Sister Walton, thank you, Sister Walton. Thank you for sharing. Sister Walton says, "Praise the Lord, everyone. God bless you." If you're on here, let us know. Again, we're trying to get it to go public so that everyone can come on here and give your expression. On last week, we had Sister Amber Roberts on here, and Amber was supposed to be on here again today. Last week, Amber gave a powerful testimony of how God had blessed her not to have experienced any crisis this year, and we pray that she does not have any crisis. However, she was having some a little health issues, so she was not going to be on here. So we want you to pray for her. She has such a powerful testimony, and we all know that whenever you're witnessing for God, the enemy is going to try his best to do whatever he can do to attack you. And so we want to pray for her and pray that God would just touch her body. We're glad we have two new guests on today. These two are both have experienced sickle cell. Uh, Sister Beverly Howard says, "Praying." Thank you, Sister Howard. I'm sure she appreciates that, and I'm sure she's watching it. Um, and so we just want to pray. We're glad for the two new individuals on here today, and they each have their individual stories. They have their individual courses that they've taken in order to deal with their sickle cell. So first, we're going to call on First Lady Darlene Marrero, not Marrero, Morel. Sorry. Now you're gonna have to take it off mute. Did I finally get it right?
It's my turn now.
It is your turn now, so you get a chance to correct me if I mispronounce your name. How did your name go?
Hi, I'm Pastor Delene Morel from Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. If you heard that name, Morel, she's related to Candy Morel Akers, who is the international missionary president of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Just take about 60 seconds to tell us something about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from Indiana. My husband, Pastor Anthony Morel, myself moved to Arizona 20 some years ago. We have 8 children, 7 boys,
Wow.
1 girl. We
Wow.
pastor God's Glory Apostolic Church, and
Mm-hmm.
we love Arizona weather.
Amen. That's why I hear everyone says it like Arizona weather. The only thing I've heard about Arizona weather is when it's really hot, it's hot. When it's hot, and when it's not. But I heard now this is what I heard, and I haven't experienced. Someone says it gets so hot sometimes your feet sticks to the ground. I don't know if that's true or not.
It'll sure burn on the ground.
What's that?
It'll sure burn on the ground.
Yeah, and they say you can fry egg on the ground.
Pretty much, yes.
Wow, okay. But they said the air, especially if someone has asthma or something like that, that's a good place to be. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of It's My Turn Now. We have a stand-in who saw a program, and he has some information he wants to share with us. I'm not sure if we're going to call you Natural Solutions. He goes by Natural Solutions. I guess it's Derek Jennings, aka Natural Solutions. So going forward, we'll just call you Natural Solutions. Welcome to It's My Turn Now.
All right, it's my turn. Amen. Thank you.
It's my turn now. You don't sound too excited. You got a little oomph there, brother.
It's my turn now. I know how to do it.
Now you're talking. Now you're sounding good. Sounding good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Derek, tell us a
All
little
right,
about
tell
yourself.
us.
A little about
Oh, okay.
yourself.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, we're born with sickle cell anemia, and was as I got older. I'm 56 now, but I'm about 2012, 11, I learned some things of what I can do stuff now because pretty much there were no answers that satisfied me, and so that sent me on a quest of understanding, and it turned me into a naturopathic physician assistant in a sense. So where I'm not only helping myself, but I'm helping people across the country to recover from not only sickle cell but every disease that we deal with. So that's what
Okay.
is wonderful, and I'm on no medicine, no blood transfusion. So God
Okay.
bless.
That's a bless. Now, is there any way you can give us some more light so we can kind of see a little more clearly? I work as a therapist. I use Zoom with my clients. I have to see a face. I like to see an expression. So, if there's some way you can add some more light, Brother Derek, any way you can add more light so we
Add
can
some
see
more
it?
light, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
There
we're
shall be
gonna
light.
add some light here.
There shall be light. Let there be light. You know, I've talked to a number of individuals since our program on last week, and I've gotten a lot of information. One person I talked to today, they were it was very touching. They talked about how they had a loved one who had experienced sickle cell, have a number of kids that have sickle cell, and the treatments, as I think Sister Amber was sharing with us last week, the treatments have gotten a lot better,
Okay.
but there's still room for improvement. Uh, there are different directions, different formulas. I know Brother Derek he wants to talk about his path. I'm sure his path is different than most people's paths, and we won't give him a chance. But I don't, and we'll give him a chance. I guess we're gonna do a commercial. We're gonna do a commercial for us, Brother Derek. I guess is what you're gonna do. But we want just to share us a little bit about your experience, and we'll start with you, Delene. Tell us about your experience with sickle cell?
Well, I'm 55, and I did not know that I had sickle cell until I was almost 30.
Wow, are you serious?
I had right and didn't know what it was. Stood up to childhood playing baseball. Fell down, hurt yourself. You overexerted yourself. And one time my brother was in the Air Force. I was 14, and we drove out to North Carolina, and everything was fine except for extreme tiredness. And I couldn't shake how tired that. Didn't think much about it. We flew back home, flew out to Arizona, and that's when I got real sick. I had started bleeding and didn't know it. With sickle cell, a lot of us, we start puberty a lot later than other people. And
Mm-hmm.
when I started having my periods, I was one of the later ones out of the group and at school. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what it is. So then I had got into a big fight with my older sister. She grounded me, and
Mm-hmm.
every time I went to the restroom, I seen blood. Didn't think
Mm-hmm.
anything of it. Little cramps, little pain, here, little headache. Didn't think anything of it. Went to bed, slept 2 hours. I feel somebody waking me up, get up, go outside and play like nothing happened. Never said, this is where Jesus comes in, because I should have been dead right then. I come back home, and anybody at all, not one person, got on the basketball team. Same thing happened, but this time excruciating pain. I mean, it was terrible, terrible pain. My mother's was a phlebotomist. So I called her at work and told her something's wrong. And she said, tell your dad. And I said, something's wrong. I need you to come home. Granted, I have a little brother 2 years younger than me, and he is a doctor, and he wanted to be a doctor. He said, put your feet up over your head. It'll take the pain away. Put my feet up over my head. It took the pain away until it came down. Went to the doctor. They said, oh, she just has a bladder infection. Maybe she's just not drinking enough. Sent me with eternal bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Went to my pediatrician. He sent me straight over to a kidney specialist. They put that contrast, that dye in you.
Mm-hmm.
They was alarmed. They said she has eternal bleeding from her left. And we want to know, what did you do for it before? How in the hospital, and asking 1,000 questions. My mother said she's never had this. I said, yes, I did.
Now, how old were you at this time?
14. So
Okay.
this is how we found out something was wrong. And they said that I had scar tissue on my kidney, so they knew that it had happened before. At this,
Mhm.
I'm literally passing blood clots every time I urinate, the size of a 50-cent piece. And
Wow.
color was so drained from me. I was so weak. At this time, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, went home for a couple of days around Thanksgiving, and had to go right back in the hospital for a couple of more weeks. And I went home, and that started the process. Now, they never said I had any form of sickle cell. They said I had the trade, I was unusual, it might be a one time thing, but it wasn't. And that started my journey.
Wow. So when you're 30s, did they check your blood for the sickle cell trait, or what was that? How'd that go?
Well, from that point, I was in the hospital. I can't even count how many times I was in the hospital, blood transfusions, and was sent to Indianapolis to Rock Children's Hospital when I wasn't, I guess, just to observe me. Nothing happened, went back home, got sick again, had to have emergency surgery, the scars that we have from the surgeries that they perform on us. And they told me I could never have children, never. And at this point, um, nothing else was done. And then my regular doctor had a heart attack. So now
Wow.
my eighth pregnancy, I had just had a miscarriage.
Now, did you just tell me they said you can never have children,
Correct.
and now you have 8? Look at God.
They said that the test proved that I could not that I should not,
Wow.
but
That you
that
couldn't.
I could not have
Wow.
children.
Wow.
And my doctor had a heart attack, so I had to switch doctors. And thank God for not for the heart attack, but I had to switch doctors. And
Right. Right.
a black doctor, and
Okay.
he happened to know about sickle cell, and he ran kind of tests. He listened. He told me how high of a risk that I was at, and he told me that you have sickle cell. And I looked at him like he was crazy. I was like, "No, you're mistaken. I don't have all of these doctors. All the times I'm in the hospital, and nobody's told me this." He said, "This is what you have, and this is what we're going to do." And right away, he got me on a plan. That has never been done before. So after I had the baby, one of the best doctors ever, Dr. Breckenridge, he had me on the street, and they were, I was coming in from different tests. They were getting ready to do a spinal tap, telling me they thought I had leukemia or some
Mm-hmm.
kind of cancer. And he,
Mm-hmm.
did they do an electrophoresis? Didn't know what that was, never even heard of it. And he's coming to my office. He's the one that told me that I have sickle beta thalassemia.
And now you have to break that down for us.
Sickle beta thalassemia is sickle cell. So you have a beta gene and you have an alpha gene. You have two alpha, you have two betas, and that forms hemoglobin. Your hemoglobin is a protein that
Mm-hmm.
allows the oxygen to go into all your cells throughout your. So without the oxygen, of course, into a sickle cell crisis. So
Right.
uh, parent has to have a gene and another parent has a gene. So one of my parents gave me the beta thalassemia, gave me the sickle. That was
Mm-hmm.
sickle beta thalassemia.
All right. Let me
So
ask you a question. Do any of your kids have the trait? Or well, the kids will have the trait, but does AM have full blown sickle cell? Because we learned from last week that, and Brother Derek would tell us about his how his circumstances as well. But we heard from last week that any type one of the parents has it, sickle cell, the kids will automatically have the trait. They may not actually have full blown sickle cell. Is that correct?
well, what happens is if both parents, of course, have the trait, then the child will come out with sickle cell. But there's a
Right.
poor chance with every single pregnancy that the child can come out with the trait, with the disease, depending on what the genes is that the parent has. So my
Okay.
normal gene, so that means that my kids cannot have sickle at all. But because of what I have and the 1 in 4 chance with every single pregnancy, I have 3 children with the trait.
Okay. All right. Uh, Sister Robin Poole said, greetings and praise the Lord. Uh, brother, Natural Solution, brother Derek, shared with me. I've known him for years. I never knew that he had sickle cell. Tell us about you, and when did you find out that you had sickle cell? Tell us your story.
Well, I grew up really not knowing that I had sickle cell. When I was 16 years old, I was tested, and I was told that, and they told me I would live to be 32. Well, that's when I
Wow.
end up getting born again. So it was kind of a funny prophetic thing. But my first crisis didn't happen until I was 19. But I did know that when I was trying out for grade school basketball and different things, when I would try to do the workouts, I couldn't do the extra running and the extra pushing, and everybody would say, "You're just quitting and you just this." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna survive because I feel like something wrong." I couldn't put my finger on what it
Right,
was,
right.
but I just knew that if I keep going, then they're gonna be at a service. So I had to just say I can't be on the team because I can't do the work. I can play ball, but I can't do the workout.
Right.
But the first crisis when I was 19, I end up, and then that's when I knew, but I didn't know that until, like I said, I was in ER. The doctor asked me what happened. I got a little too upset, and then I had my first crisis arguing with somebody. I said I felt so stupid when he asked me what caused it. I said I was arguing over the phone, and then I went into a crisis.
Wow.
So I said, like I said, I had to go on a journey. Now I don't want to contradict what's being said, but I have to tell you what I understand. This is how I'm able to not be on any medicine and not take any blood transfusions, and my numbers are very great. You know,
I will say this right here, brother Derek, and I appreciate you. This is called It's My Turn Now, so everyone gets an opportunity to share their journey. Your journey is unique for you and your experience. So I want you to feel free to share your experience. However, your experience may not be the same as someone else. So
right,
but I
right,
do want you to feel free to share yours. It's not
okay,
contradiction. You're just saying this is your journey. So that's specific for you. And what may work for you, it may work for someone else and it may not. So this is you identifying your journey, your experience. So you
okay,
feel free to share us with you what happened with you.
okay, go, okay. The shackles are loose. Well, okay. Now, basically, I found out that white-tailed deer and canary get sickle cell anemia in my nutritional journey from a naturopathic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a doctor that gave infusions of selenium to the
Mm-hmm.
deer, and their cells returned back to normal. And so, what we found out through Dr. Joe Wallach's information is that sickle cell anemia is not genetic; it is actually nutritional. When the mother doesn't have selenium and sulfur and a couple of other items, especially that's why Nigeria is high in sickle cell because they have low selenium in the soil, as well as Indiana. But then the first 90 days is called an inborn error of metabolism. You can be born with sickle cell, muscular dystrophy, or cystic fibrosis. And so what we're able to do then is understand that it's not the gene, it's damaged chromosomes. So I
Mm-hmm.
can take two people that have full sickle cell anemia, nutrify them with 90 nutrients and extra selenium, and all of their children will be born sickle cell and trait free. And so
Okay.
that's what we do.
That sounds good. Now, just like Brother Ben says, update your audience on where you are in the conversation. What is the conversation? Thank you, Brother Ben. The conversations we're dealing with sickle cell. We have two guests here. They both have experienced sickle cell. They both are sharing their journey. Sister Delene Morel, did I get it correct? Morel, share her experience. And now, Brother Natural Solutions is what he wants to be called. Brother Natural Solution is telling his journey about. Now, let me ask you a question. You said that you can do it. Have you actually done that? Because you have to
Well,
do it. You have to do a generational. You would have to. I would have to actually have seen you take a generation, two people who had sickle cell, and then see their kids. Have you ever? You believe you can do that, or
well,
you've actually done it?
well, my children don't have the trait or anything. So but it's been done, but not by me, but with my own children. My son's 21 and my
Okay.
daughter's 17. They don't have anything. And then we've seen
Okay.
people. This is how we know it's true because we've had people that had no sickle cell on the father or mother side, and the child's born with a trait. They had no history of it. So what it is bent chromosomes. Like the chromosomes are bent, and the measure of selenium deficiency in the 90 days in the womb determines the amount or measure of sickle that you have. So there's different measures of sickle cell, but it has to do with chromosomal damage, not genetic damage, because of a lack of nutrition. And so that's how we're able to help people all over the country basically really almost function normal. My best blood measurement is like 12 something, 12.7 or something like that. And I'm talking about with no medicine or doing nothing but nutrition and gluten-free, being gluten-free and taking nutrition.
I mean, that's great. I think our audience would love to hear that. That's some good information to know. Let me ask you, and I know this is probably sensitive to both of you. I'll start with you, Sister Morel. I'm going to try to get the name right. Sister Morel, how long has it been since last time you had an episode?
Last night.
Last night. Wow. Before then, how recent was it?
Last week.
Last week. Wow. So you have them pretty often?
It varies. It can go like every 3 months. It can go every day. It's like he said, it can be a stress factor. It can be a factor. It doesn't have to be anything at all. You can have a perfectly good day. I've tried the eating natural, gluten-free, soy-free, of course, that goes with gluten-free, a total vegan, no dairy, low sodium intake, no meat, the whole works, only using olive oil, sometimes coconut oil, avocado oil. Of course, gluten means that you have no white flour whatsoever. You're most organic, you can't do oats and things like that. And what I got out of it is that it does not, for everyone, I can only speak for me, everybody's experience is different. It did not completely stop the crisis. It did give me a better gut health, which of course our whole being, wellness kind of starts with the gut. The healthier your gut, then that kind of affects everything else. It did have me sleeping a little better. There were certain things that I can't pinpoint with it. There was no soda, no caffeine. I sodas in 20
all the good stuff.
Oh, sure.
Good,
okay.
Good to you, but not good for you. I'll say it that way. I'm listening to what you're saying. It seems like if someone had that diet, no matter what condition they were in, they would be more healthier. Take out the gluten, a lot of that. And same with Brother Derek. If you allow yourself to, I think we all were to eat healthy, it would have an effect. But as we see, it affects people different ways. It affects people. And like I said, I talked to someone today, and he shared with me. We spoke for a long time, and he actually lost a loved one to sickle cell. And he shared with me the challenges. And you said going to Raleigh Hospital. A lot of the hospitals, and we want to address the individuals that are saying it's my turn now. But a lot of the hospitals, as we talked about last week, they are not familiar with it. But I've learned something today that I didn't know. I thought it was something that you developed from a child and you knew it. So you're both are saying that you can go years in your life before you realize that you have it. Is that correct with you as well, Brother Derek?
Yeah. I just want to add that now what we do is we avoid cooking oils because that clogs up the veins. And so we use butter or lard to cook with, and so that helps the veins not to clog up. And the difference is with the diet of being gluten-free, nitrate and nitrite-free, cooking oil-free, and soda-free and all that, we also give ourselves 77 plant minerals. That's a game changer. Plant minerals, not just minerals. And then 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids, and then extra selenium. That will help you turn the corner. The diet by itself won't work because there's not enough nutrition in the food, and you have to supplement with selenium, the very element that was missing that caused you to have sickle cell. You can treat yourself every day and cause your cells to function normally. So the diet alone doesn't work.
So what it sounds like to me, brother Derek, what it sounds to me is there's some nutritional supplement, because all the minerals and things you're saying you can't, they just don't come. You have, there's some solution, I guess, something you sell, or you sell a product, something that you take, a supplement that has those
Yeah.
nutrients in. Okay,
Yes, yes.
that's
Because we're made from the dust of the ground. We always say ashes to ashes and dust to dust during the funeral. But why not put the very essence of what we're made from in our mouth twice a day and get all the Garden of Eden level nutrients that we need? That's the difference that causes someone that's born with it baked in the cake, other than a miracle. Then we can't reverse it, but we sure can treat it and get better results. Way
okay.
better.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go respond to some of the comments and questions, because what happens is they'll respond to something. If I wait too long, we pass the subject they're talking about. Sister Beverly Howard says, "It's my turn. Aren't traits considered hereditary? However, I am glad that the nutrition has been a helpful tool." And that's a good question, because that's what I was always told. And so I think, brother Derek, you're saying something a little bit different, because that, and maybe, I don't have enough information myself, that's outside my level, and as in counseling, tell you, don't operate outside your level of knowledge, your capabilities. So I can't say that. Can you, or have you verified that with a doctor, or, because I think you're the one that said right there.
Matter of fact, I'm treating doctors and different nurses that privately, that illnesses that they would say would be genetic and you can't reverse. I reverse all kinds of things where we can even regrow cartilage and stuff from people that need knee replacements. So it's a common misconception, because the doctor that had a heart attack, we can reverse congestive heart failure in 3 to 5 days. Cardiomyopathy, and so all these different things that people think are genetic, it's not. It's nutritional and environmental, and Dr. Wallach proved this, because when you do like 28,000 autopsies on animals and people and find out the reason why they died, and you find out why, and you know how to do animals and people, then you come up with answers. And this is proven in a book in the Smithsonian called "Diseases of Exotic Animals." So this is by a government study, $25 million back in the 70s. That was a lot of money.
So let me ask you, when's the last time you had experienced any type of crisis?
Well, a crisis to put me in a hospital, man, maybe. I normally would go to ER and then a couple of hours and then I'm out. I haven't been in the hospital since 2016.
Okay, good.
I mean,
I'm glad for you. When was the last time you had a crisis that did not put you in the hospital?
Well, I mean,
you don't have to say it.
Well, let me think. Maybe a month ago, but it's like I could just treat myself, and a lot of times it has to do with barometric pressure or weather change. But then I recover so quick because of what I'm doing. It doesn't make it's not normal. It's not normal from my other experiences before I started doing what I was doing. I would have to recover about 3-4 weeks.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the supplements, they help as far as the recovery process, allowing your genes, everything to recover quicker, to bounce back. Is that what I'm hearing? But I want to get some of these other comments, because someone said, totally agree. I'm not sure what he said, totally agree, because we went past. That's what I'm trying to stay with him. That was Brother Ben. Yet the diet sounds helpful. Sister Baby Howard says the diet sounds helpful. Sister Robin, today aren't all African American babies tested for sickle cell? I think that's what we said. And when anyone when they started that, because some of us are older like myself. I talked to someone today, and they share with me the gout is closely associated with sickle cell. Did either you know that?
Okay. Okay. You want to answer? Okay. Gout is a deficiency of calcium caused by eating gluten, and so it's nothing but arthritis in the feet. Doctors name things different names. It can be receding gums is arthritis in the gums. If you have AFib, then you have arthritis in the thoracic spine, and it squeezes the little nerves that shoot impulses to the heart. So it's all kinds of arthritis is, according to where it is in the body, they just give it a different name. But the precursor for that is eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats, which causes the small intestines not to absorb the minerals. And so then your body, the nutrition goes into your stomach, then to your small intestine, but it doesn't get into your blood because instead of having an afro, but the villi and microvilli in your small intestine, you have a ball fade, and then you can't absorb nutrition. And one of the greatest needs that we have is calcium, which is all of our muscles, all of our skin, all of our ligaments, connective tissue, bone, just between vertebrae is made from that. And because we eating gluten, then we can't get it. And so then people with sickle cell normally have more joint issues because blood flow isn't as good. And then so the nutrition is not as good. And then the blood flow doesn't get to the joints like it needs to. You have joint issues. So that's why we do the diet plus the nutrition, and your body functions 1,000% better.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so Darlene, you want to say something? Go ahead.
It's my turn now.
No.
Go ahead.
So one of the problems that I have is that it's not against healthy eating, because I grow a lot of my own fruits and vegetables, so I know exactly what's in it. And a lot of the dirt today doesn't have a lot of the mineral things in it, and that part is true. The problem comes in is that a lot of people that have sickle cell cannot afford the extra. So with me, I can only speak for me and the people that I know. I want something in the past, and it raises everything up. I'm eating good. I'm eating right. I'm getting right water that's not acidity or line then acidity to it, and it's my rest and everything, and I'm taking these extra nutrients. Point that I cannot afford to keep these nutrients going. This extra stuff that you have to pay for, I crash, and the crash is then if I just tried to maintain what I was doing naturally without having that. So the other thing that I was going to say is gout is very painful, but having a crisis in your foot lasts and is more or is as painful as what gout is. Now you take the pain that someone has with gout and you put that to your eyeballs, you put that to your spleen, you put that to your liver, you put that to your knees, you put that to your ankles. There's been times in my hands that I couldn't bend them, especially when I was a child and I had no idea about sickle cell. And I would did the wrong thing. I would take an ice pack and I would put it around my hand, put a cool rag around it, and I know this sounds odd. I was a child. I took a nutcracker and I stretch it and crack everything out to try to get it to better. So we do some things, we try some things, we experiment with some things, not knowing what we have. So what I learned as I got older was ice in us, cold in us, is just as harmful as heat in us. We had to try to keep a middle ground with our body temperature. We can't cold because it shrinks our veins, it shrinks our vessels, and then we can't get hot because we'll dehydrate, and then that's putting stress on us. So brothers taking these extra supplements, kudos. I have nothing against it at all. There's certain things that I do take, but it does not, and it has not stopped a crisis. It might not be as severe, and I love that, because not as severe is better than the hospital. I haven't been admitted, probably should have a few times. Have not been admitted since I moved to Arizona. It's been 20 some years. Have I had super hard crisis? Have I had to go to the ER? Yes. Constant contact with my doctor. I have, since I left Indiana with Dr. Breckenridge, I have the best doctor, great things, and both of them got me on oxygen. A lot of people that I talked to have not had oxygen. And so COVID, they didn't even have the little oxygen finger.
Right. Measure your oxygen level. Yeah.
I went and bought me one. So when I go to my doctor, she already knows my levels. I have a pressure cup. She knows my level. I keep my weight. everything that I can, I try to keep a journal of it, what I eat, what I drink, how often I drink. I even have a young who, you should really get this lady on your show. Her name is Amy Mason Cooley, and she's an advocate for sickle cell hush. And she advocate was an advocate for us when my daughter-in-law's mother, who found out she had sickle out thalassemia, caught COVID, and they wasn't treating her for the COVID, and she went from bad to worse. This young advocate was on it like
Right.
rice, and knows her things. You know, she knows what to do. She knows how to the doctors, and she's in a professional, I'm going to get this done kind of way, and we need this. So it's certain things that we're doing, and it helps certain people, but that doesn't mean it helps everyone. Some people
Right.
can fly in an airplane, right, and have no problem. They take certain precautions. I cannot. That's what started me with eternal bleeding. And yes, it was a prescribed plan. Yes, you can have your oxygen, but wisdom and a lot of prayer, the Lord, that's not for you.
You know, I would say this right here. I think it's what you're saying, and it working for you, and what Derek is saying is working for him. However, it's like the person who was on her lives with Amber. I saw her go through a crisis, and I saw her doctor wanted to give her one medicine, and she said, no, this does not work. So I think everyone has to be their own advocate. I think it's good if everyone had an advocate to work from, because sometimes you're in so much pain, you can't be an advocate for yourself. You need someone that's knowledgeable. So I think there's different courses. I'm going to say this right here, in conjunction to what Robin's Poole says, all African American testing. I wonder, does anyone say anything as you get older? When you go to a doctor, do they ever test your blood for sickle cell, or is it something that has to be requested? Either you know the answer to that.
It's my turn. Yes. Well, actually, like I said, I'm 55. I was tested as a baby. They knew that trait. They never, back in the day, they always said, if you trait, you will have nothing wrong with you. No side effects, no pain, no nothing. Well, as you see, that was a lie.
Right.
One, they thought it was a primarily Black thing, so they didn't want to invest in it. So
right.
Because they thought too that as Black people, we don't feel pain, or that we're junkies, or we're attention seeking, then we'll stick with one thing or another with it. So we're going to leave the trait aside. But now it's been, my son is 36, my oldest son, and they were testing before him. So it's been over 36 years old. As far as adult, if you do not request it, if you do not go in and say something, no, they will not test you.
Yeah, that's my question. Yeah.
My mother, my daughter-in-law's mother, she had all kinds of problems. She's Native American and Mexican. So because of this, they didn't realize that all the pain she was having, they couldn't find anything wrong. I said, tell them to give her a test her and ask for an electrophoresis. I said, and that's going to tell her that she has sickle cell. And she tested for sickle alpha thalassemia, which is one of the forms of sickle cell.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Aletha Powell said, "G is a great butter."
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she means. Is that the name of butter?
It's a more pure.
I thought you were saying like gee whiz, like that's a great butter. So G is a type of butter.
Right. You take your butter and you slowly cook it, and all of the water kind of comes out of the top. So it also has a higher heat or burn content, like peanut oil. How you can also use G on the shelf. It has a longer shelf life with it. So yeah, and you can make it yourself. You don't have to spend $10, $12, $20 at the store to get it.
See, I never heard, but I will say this, but Derek, now when we were coming up, that's all we had was lard. We didn't have all this fancy stuff. Lard, we had the big old lard, big old gray chunk of lard you throw in the frying pan, and we cooked everything with it. But for a while, they were saying that you were not supposed to take lard, that it was not good for you. So now you're saying it's good for you.
No, what happened was when Crisco came out, they paid the American Heart Association like $10 million or something to lie and say that butter and lard are bad and that all the cooking oils and stuff were good. That was actually German machine oil. And so there was a person that sat on the board and he brokered a deal. His name was Ansel Keys. And so when he died, they found papers showing that the Mediterranean diet and all the olive oils and all the coconut oils and all that actually caused the deep vein thrombosis, the strokes and all that.
Mhm.
And they actually did that to sell the product. They demonized butter and lard and cheese and cream and eggs so that they could sell Crisco and the oils.
Yeah,
And that's what
yeah.
it was, reverse psychology. But
West
I'm gonna say that,
margarines, they replaced it with that, and now there it's what you have said. It was a money thing, and it did more damage, and it's doing more damage to not just sickle cell people, but people.
but all people.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
and but
So
what I wanted to say was
this is good information. But the only thing I think you both would bring good information. But Derek, you bring some good information. Where are there resources that the average person can get to because what you're saying is very good. It's a resource that we can go to get the information. Even if someone wants to research what you're saying, is there a place where they can go and get their hands on it?
Okay, yes. If you want to reverse 900 health challenges naturally and be medicine free like me, then go to Stop
Now you sound like
Sickness.
commercial now. Sound like
I mean, I'm sorry,
commercial, brother.
you
I'm
already
just
know how
asking you, is
I
there a
am.
source? I'm just
Yeah.
asking you, is there a source to go? I guess that's a yes.
Yes. You go to stopsickness.info.
Okay.
Stopsickness.
Well, can you type that in the message so if someone wants to go to it? Because I doubt if anybody's gonna remember unless they have a photographic memory. I know I'm not gonna remember. But if you type it in the message,
Okay.
so if anybody wants to know some of this information, you can type it and you.
So
you
now if I type it in the message, do I hit the chat button or something? Because I don't want to mess nothing up.
Yeah, you hit the chat button, but you can always come back on. Let me see. Baby Howard, yes, all 7 of mine were tested. All right. And the question was, I guess I'm saying somebody my age is, from what we're saying is we really don't know. Everyone experienced symptoms differently. Your symptom is different. The lean. Derek, yours is different from the guests we had on last week. Everybody's symptoms are different. So I think everyone wants to be tested different. Brother Ben.
And we do have a couple of things that is in common.
Right.
Signs that the medical team, if they're not familiar with it, might overlook that. So you do request it.
All right. Brother Ben said he likes "It's My Turn Now" mug. I should start selling this. If you like to give a "It's My Turn" mug or a T-shirt, let me know. I might start selling them. So just let me know if you like it that much. How much do you like? Okay. Sister Jamie Gonzalez says that information that he gave is a godsend. I have never heard of it. I wish a dear friend of mine, he died, would have had known about this. He was very smart and was the first Black man who owned. Yeah, I knew the gentleman at McDonald's who owned the McDonald's. I never forget. I was sharing with Brother Lee Christian, whose dad owned McDonald's. Telling him I never forget. I was talking to him one day at McDonald's, and he had a stopwatch. I said, what's a stopwatch for? He said nothing. He said, but you'd be surprised how much fast the employees would start working once they see him. And we just had a good laugh about that. He was such a nice, kind-hearted guy, Jamie. I remember he was a very nice person. He lived till mid-40s. Yeah, he was nice. I always enjoyed talking with him. Sister Darlene Berry Hill Word. Dr. Walton, how often do you do it? It's my turn. And we do it every week. You can come on here. Give you a comment. Also, we have a link for those who may not be aware. There is a link on here that you can click on the link and you can come live if you want to see. Now, matter of fact, we have some people. I don't know if they want to come live. Shannon, are you there? Sometimes people click on a link so they want to see the program. Okay, Shannon was on there. There's a Kim. Kim, are you there? Okay, so we're every Monday from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. We talk about different subjects. This is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, so we did part 1 and part 2 on sickle cell on next, it's also Suicide Awareness Month. Next week, we're going to deal with sickle suicide. We have some individuals that deal with suicide crisis. That's what we're going to deal with next week. Okay. Let me see.
You know, it's my turn
How
now.
was it, sis?
Sickle cell.
Your
There's a
sister,
lot.
you have been very proactive with your health. Wonderful, glory to God. Now, that's what I'm trying to catch up with, because she said you've been very proactive with your health. I imagine she's talking about you too, because I need, I need to eat a little more healthier. So I'm sure she's talking about the two of you. So Brother Ezra says, great topic. Thank you, Brother Ezra. He said, stopsicknessblogspot.com. Very good. Is that what you were saying, Brother Derek? Tell us where to go to.
Yeah, because if you go there, and like I said, I mean, it doesn't matter what illness you have. If you talk with us, we're able to reverse it. And a lot of the illnesses that we reverse, people say is genetic and you can't do it, and we do it all the time. And so that, when I found that out and then dealt with myself, and the more nutrition you put in your body, and the better your body's going to function. And the way we afford it, I mean, we have to be proactive. If you got to be multi-level and make commission off of what you're doing, that's how I afford it. And I just maximize the platform, just like we do, like in America, a republic. You take advantage of your rights and your ability, and then and you cause yourself to afford something. We do whatever we want. Right. But so a lot of times we say we can't afford nutrition, but then we going out to eat, spending $100 a month on just pleasure.
That's true. That's true. So that's true. However, everybody can't even do that. Those who have money, like yourself, you might have plenty of money. Everybody, there's times I couldn't go out and buy a burger.
Exactly.
I mean, I can buy. Yeah, I tell some of my rich friends now who have some friends that got plenty of money, and who are kind of arrogant. I tell them, listen, I don't have to fool with you because I can afford to buy me a burger. That's my way of putting on the I said I can afford to buy a burger, So, but there are some people, unfortunately, that still don't have the resources. What we're used to it, but we forget sometimes how people in this country unnecessarily are struggling, and that's another topic in itself. Because with the wealth this country has, no one really has to be suffering.
Right. And here's the great thing about it. Oh, go ahead.
Let me say this right, just quickly, Brother F. This lets you know how in tune the viewers are when we're trying to get you to type it in. Brother Ezra went ahead and typed it in for you. So that lets you know that our audience are in tune with what you're saying. He's listening, and he saved you, and he typed it. And then I guess Sister Wallen said, type in the comments, brother. She's trying to help you as well. So they're listening to you. Let me get this one last, and then we'll give you a chance. Brother Ben said, has any of your guests ever heard of Alfredo Bowman, better known as Dr. CB? He deals with how to take herbs to cure sickle cell. Very good question, Brother Ben. All the comments are very good. Whichever one you want. I let Brother Natural Solution. We'll let you have a chance, because I didn't want you to think I was trying to cut you off. But I'm gonna tell you this right here. When you get a little bit older, you almost have to say what you're gonna say, because you'll forget. You get to talking, and I've been forgot what I was gonna say, so I had to kind of interject it real quick. So please excuse me if I kind of jump in there. But go ahead on, Brother Natural Solutions.
Okay. When I do my presentations around, when I'm able to do presentations in different churches and different conferences and stuff, and there's always someone in the audience that knows a lot, and then I call them, and then there's always some Sabi people. I call them Dr. Sabi people. And when I finish talking, and when they finish asking me 1,000 questions versus what I do versus what Dr. Sabi does, they end up getting my stuff, and I still end up helping them because there is still some gaps. And then what I do, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. We're able to teach and share. And so no one has to be the Albert Einstein genius. I can share and teach this. And so it's duplicatable. And I end up helping doctors, nurses, and like I said, those that follow Dr. Sabi as well. When I did a conference at Grace Apostolic Church, the pastor said that they're only going to, I did it at 12 noon and at 7 on a Wednesday. He said they're only going to stay an hour. Well, they didn't leave out till 3 o'clock. And so he was real impressed. Then I came back at 7, me and my wife that night, and they didn't leave till 10 o'clock. But Pastor Grace told me, he said there were doctors and nurses in the audience there to ask me questions to trip me up. And he said the thing that impressed him the most was after they asked all their questions, they were in line getting the stuff. So we had answered their questions, and then they were in line like, I need this too. So that's what we're able to do. And it's hard in this format for people to understand until they look at a full presentation. That's why you have to go to the website.
Okay. I think this is very good. I think anything that works for you, I think is fantastic. I'm not like I said, it's your turn now. Everybody has an opportunity to give their, tell what their experience are, and that's the beauty of this show. I'm not going to discredit anything anyone says. Hey, if it works, I think it would be nice if when you sold the products, even at Grace or wherever you go, if you had a survey that some of the people who maybe it could be a confidential survey with numbers, those individuals had certain issues before they took it, and see how many people were positively affected by it. Then we have some more concrete data to work with. So I think that's something
we already do that. When I come with a survey form, and then this is the form that I come with a survey, and then I have positive testimonies on YouTube, testimonials. But it's easier to pull teeth without Novocaine than to get someone to say something positive, because most people get nervous when they see a recording at a red light. But I do have a lot of testimonials, and everybody can get a survey when I do my conference.
So let me ask you. Okay, so did they fill out the survey at Grace? You mentioned Grace Church. Did they fill out the survey when they were there?
Yeah. When I first was doing them for years, I would have the surveys with me, and people would fill that out, because basically we found out all the illnesses fall into 4 categories: hard tissue, soft tissue, blood sugar, and digestive problems. And all the 900 health challenges fall into those 4 categories. And so
we kind of straying away a little bit. I know you're it's all encompassing, but we do want to continue to just focus on sickle cell, because I hear what you're saying. I believe, and you put it down there. I want anybody who, when a person is going through something, whatever will help them, I think is important. If what you do is going to help individuals, I think that's a great thing. But I think it's like Sister Delene said, some things we just have to be realistic. Some things are not for everybody. But I would encourage anyone who feels like, hey, I want to get to try. It won't hurt, because we put a whole lot. Here's the thing about us. Sometimes when it comes to nutrition, stuff like your supplement, people say, I don't want to take that. But we put a whole lot of negative junk in our bodies, ice cream, junk food, cakes, all this right here. And we don't mind putting that stuff in. And people will spend money. I started baking cakes during the pandemic. I have so many people call me, ask me, bake them pineapple upside down pecan rum cake. And that's not healthy for nobody. It's good, but it's not healthy. But they're willing to pay this. I don't care. I'll pay for it. So, you're right, brother Derek. People will pay for what they want to pay when they have the money to pay. Everybody doesn't have the money to pay for what they want. All right, Sister James says, how can I reverse neuropathy in my feet? Very good question.
Okay.
I know what he's going to say.
What? No, neuropathy.
There's 100 nutritional. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, now neuropathy actually falls into category number 3, blood sugar problems. You have a deficiency of chromium and vanadium. All you need is the 23 cofactors, 77 plant minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and we give you extra chromium. And we reverse type 2 diabetes in 10 to 14 days in neuropathy. I've done it. It's proven. As a Sister Pat Strong, I got a call from one of the hospitals. A physician's assistant said, "What are you doing?" She had sciatica and type 2 diabetes. And I got a call from the hospital saying, "What are you doing?" And I told them, but they don't want to take it because they can't make money off of dust up the ground natural stuff. But neuropathy, we can reverse very quickly, because it's a blood sugar issue, type 2 diabetes, chromium vanadium deficiency.
Well, it's my turn now. My question is, with having sickle cell, and if I was to start to take this, right, Are you saying that you have to take this for your life,
Yeah,
or
because
it
yes.
your system build up to a certain point that now you could start functioning without having to pop a pill all the time?
No, because once we were born with it, it's called like a birth defect. It's called an inborn error of metabolism. So now it's baked into the cake. But you can take it at a measure where you'll function normally, and where you normally would have the and the pains. You may go a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, even 10 years before you have those same measures. Because just like we got to eat to put minerals, we're really eating dirt through the plants. That's what we're doing. And so what we have is the most nutritious dirt in the world that you can eat through, and it's in mineral and amino acid and fatty acid vitamin form. And so because of that, yeah, you're going to have to, just like you have to eat every day, you got to just, you can make your cells function better, and the sickle cells will live longer. They won't die off in 30 days. You know, they'll live long, because that's the problem with why that causes the crisis is as well, that our cells die quicker than someone with normal cells. But taking this stuff, it makes your cells and your body and your blood function normally, and your
So what
blood count to go up.
are supposed to last so many days, but us with sickle cell, our cells last less than half that time. So it could be 16 days
Yeah,
instead of, I don't remember
but
the total number that our cells, it literally just just slipped mine. So when the cells start sickling, going into that half moon, and they start clumping on together and they start getting sticky, a lot of times it's because we're also dehydrated. So this is why they tell us to drink a lot of water. Now I do a lot of juicy, like celery, whatever, my own fruits and vegetables. But I also keep water, and I found out that big bottled waters is not always my friend. I watched a show called Dr. Cherry a long time ago. He used to come on one of those channels, and he said that drinking, if you hold a big thing of water, I don't think water's real common in, but it can overwhelm, and you'll sip it and you'll put it down, you sip it, put it down. But if you do the smaller size, you got so fast that before you know it, you're drinking 4 or 3 of them. I said, let me put this to the test. So I put it to the test, and my liquid intake had actually doubled, which was good. I didn't find any half bottles laying around. So even when I make up juice, I will also get the little small bottles for my juice. And you can put in a small cup. It doesn't have to be plastic. I know some people don't like plastic. Some people like glass. Some people, whatever. The point is that we cannot go without drinking. We need that water to keep us hydrated, because one of the things that is, when we're not hydrated up, at least with me, when I go to get my lab work done, um, they can't even hardly get anything out of my veins. And I have bad veins that blow and they roll anyways. And it took someone like my mom, who was one of the best phlebotomists in 3 states, to come in and to get me all
Three
the
states.
3 states: Ohio, Indiana, and Arizona.
All right, go
uh,
ahead. Go ahead on,
okay,
Mom.
That's right.
okay, I got to
So
jump in here.
that we
Let me respond to some of these comments on here. Jamie Gonzalez says, "Sorry, my question went too quick. Can your products help that said? And thank God for the information that can help suffering people." I'm not sure what she means. Do you know what she means? Can your product help that sit? I'm not
I
sure what
don't
she means.
no, we're gonna have to retype that one.
And that's why I'm trying to stay with them. So, Sister Jamie, you might have to bring it. Now, Brother Ben is saying what I've heard a lot. He says Bragg's apple vinegar cider and 1 gallon of water a day. I know you probably have heard this, Derek. I don't know if you use it. What about you,
Yeah,
Elaine?
I do it with honey and little
Now, I'm
raw.
having a hard time hearing you a little bit.
I do it with raw honey and a little bit of lemon with mine too. I don't do it a whole lot, but I do it.
So, is that,
okay.
are you saying you take the Bragg's apple cider vinegar as well?
Yes, with
Okay,
mixed with
okay, go ahead, Brother Derek.
a little bit of lemon.
Well, because of what we're able to do with the nutrition, I don't have to do the hydrating thing at all. That's the great thing about it. And see, I'm not just talking about my experience. I got testimonials from people that had sickle cell until they encountered me. It blew their head off all across the country, all across the
I'm sorry.
country
What
for
do you mean they blew
years.
the head off?
I mean, they got results they never got in no other way,
Well, I was
with
going
no
to
other
say,
thing. And you know, and I got to be careful because this is a time of terrorism. Blew the head off? No, you didn't. No, but
I
I'm
know. No,
saying I don't have. I
I
don't have
work
to
as I
hydrate.
work as a therapist, so I have to ask people to reframe what they're saying because I want to know what you're saying. They blew it. I'm saying, wait a minute. This is
Blew
kind
their
of radical.
mind. Blew their mind. Blew their mind. Blew their
Okay,
mind.
okay, there you go. Okay, very, very good. But I do think, Brother Derek, no matter what you take, it's important that you still have to hydrate yourself. With
No,
water.
I
I don't care
understand
what
that,
you
but
drink.
what we understand is that hydrating by itself. Because I asked the doctor, I said, "Is the hydrating gonna make a difference?" And he told me before I started doing this, he told me, "No." But we have to
Not,
tell you something. I mean,
that,
privately,
that's
he
kind of
said,
new to me.
"Really,
I would have to I had to scratch my head on that one right there. I don't know who that
no,
doctor is.
because no, but this is what's up." I mean, I said, "It's really gonna help me." It's like, well, this is all we can say. Just do this, but we really ain't got nothing to help you. That's when I went on my journey. But I found out the more you hydrate, and alkaline water you want to avoid because your stomach needs to be acidic with the apple cider vinegar and salt. So, but your body is alkaline after that. So, with the proper nutrient balance, then your body will alkaline itself. So, alkaline water actually prevents you from absorbing nutrients, kind of like antacids and soda in your stomach.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
but taking these nutrients, you don't have to hydrate so much because your body functions at a better level, and it keeps your cells rounded. Because, like I said before, when they found the sickle cell in canary and white-tailed deer, they gave injections of this nutrition, and the cells went back to more normalized. And so I'm like, okay, I get it. So then I applied it, and it worked. Then objective and subjective got my blood measured, and it worked. My blood count is much higher. It's almost normal, like
Yeah,
for a man.
I'm
But I
all
got sickle
for it.
cell.
I'm all for it if it's going to help. Hey, I'm all for it, brother Derek. Hey, if I think that anybody who's dealing with sickle cell, and from what I've seen and the pain, I think most people have tried almost anything that's available out there at least one time. So I think there's anybody's on here who hasn't tried, I think they will give it a try. And maybe there's someone out here who has sickle cell and decides to go your route. Please come back on the show, even if we're talking about another subject. Please come back on the show and tell us, hey, we tried, his what he's recommend, and I got the results. Okay, let me see. Hold on,
Yes.
hold on just a second. I'm trying to keep up with. Does a nutritional plant reverse the sickling of the RBC? She's a nurse. You can tell she's a nurse at RBC. Red blood cells. That's what she said. Red blood cells. Okay, I figured that one out. Yes, that the one you want to answer.
Could you read that
I
again?
guess you're talking to you right there. Does it reverse the sickling?
No, she talking about sickle cell, or she talking about
I
because
think
I
that's
actually have a video of different blood conditions, and they
she's
showed
talking about
I got
sickle
a
cell.
okay, yeah. I have a short clip of video where the nutrition is being taken, and different blood conditions where the blood cells were not normal shape return back to normal with the infusion right in front of your face.
Okay,
And so,
very good.
yes, it does. Yes, it
All
does. I
right,
can
Sister
send the
Rock.
video to anyone.
I'm sorry. Thank you, bro. I'm sorry. Excuse me if I interrupt. Sister Ross said, Bishop, stop being literal. Well, as a therapist, that's just in me. When someone says something, I've got to, that's biblical, and all they get understand. Is that right? Am I with the scripture? I would be doing you a disservice if I misunderstood what you're saying and then give you a chance to clarify, because maybe someone else was the same way. So, Sister Ross, and stop being literal. No, I'm not going to stop being literal. I'm going to continue to be it. Thank you.
All right, that's good.
Thank you very much. That's why I do it for profession. That's what I'm trained to do. Okay. All right. Esther Biden. Hey, Esther, welcome. My husband had it, and when he didn't hydrate, he would have a crisis. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. I'm trying to get these other. Hydration is healthy unless you have a pre-existing condition. I like drinking vinegar, honey, and lemon in my green tea. Matter of fact, that's what I'm drinking right now. No, this is peppermint tea, green peppermint tea.
Okay.
But I think that when it comes to hydration, I'm no doctor, well, I am a doctor, but not a medical doctor, just therapist. But anyway, when it comes to hydration, because hydration affects your skin tone. There's so many areas, that the hydration just helps besides that. So, okay, brother Ben, totally disagree. When I take, okay, when I take Bragg's apple cider vinegar and I drink a gallon of water a day, I went back to my doctor and I had perfect labs in my yearly checkups. And the doctor asked me, do I drink water? I said, yes, a gallon a day. He said, good, keep doing it. You have to stay hydrated. That's half the battle. And that's what I've heard. But again, everybody's different, but I would lean toward being hydrated. If I had
see, now here's what I would say. See,
okay.
what people don't really understand is a lot of people making comments, but they on medicine. They got health challenges and they're not being honest. See, but I have no medicine, no blood transfusion. I take medicine for no health challenge at all. And see, here's the thing. I want to, if I could finish this point. When you hydrate and you're not getting the nutrition that your body needs, you rinse a lot of minerals out of your body. That's why a lot of athletes drop dead when they're hydrating with Gatorade and different. They got 3 nutrients in it, but then they run out of nutrients, and then they end up having a cardiomyopathy, heart attack, or they have something. They have joint issues and different things because they ran out of minerals, ran out of nutrients, and they hydrated like crazy. So hydration, as long as you're putting the minerals in, is okay. But when you hydrate with just plain water and apple cider vinegar and things, it doesn't put the minerals in. And most of the people are not going to be 90 years old like me with sickle cell, still on no medicine. And
but it's more than
that's the difference.
Minerals in, and to make a balance. Just because you drink apple cider vinegar and whatever's with it, if it's working for you, then you can do that. But that doesn't mean that you're still not eating a balance. Right? You're just putting on a different form. Now, my brother is a medical doctor, and he's a good medical doctor. So when he tells me to hydrate and that we have to stay hydrated, then we have to stay have to stay hydrated.
We run out of time. This is an awesome program. We have to do this again sometime. But I'm going to say this right here. When you take a supplement, to me, it's my turn now. Your basic supplement, like if I say a doctor tells me to take blood pressure medicine, even though I know it may affect other areas, but then someone tells me to take this health nutritional, I'm substituting one treatment for another, and so it's basically it's a natural remedy, but you could consider a type of medicine. It's a natural remedy, but I'm substituting one medicine for another medicine. And so we have to realize that. And so, and because what happens is if it was something I could take and I took it one time and I would be cured, then that'd be fine. But if I had to take this long term, then I'm substituting one treatment for another treatment. Let me see. Go Bishop, drink your tea. All right. Okay, Sister Robinson said, so you guys consider Dr. Sickle Saber to be your best friend. Okay, I think that's one kind of, I don't know, did either one of you agree with that? I don't think either one of you agree with that, did it?
What?
Did one of you guys
say what?
No.
He said, do you guys consider Dr. Sabi to be your best friend? I don't know if either one of you said that.
No.
That's one.
No.
Get a comment.
No.
So this is one of the first things that 2 of our guests agreed on the whole show far.
What he's saying about having supplements, I agree. What he's saying about eating healthy, I agree with all of that. I just think that it's different for everyone, and it goes to what you can afford. But that healthy eating and going more natural with it, and trying to get off of Percocets and Lorabid and Codan and over all these other medicines, when you can minimize how often they have to take that to get over a pain episode, and say, oh, give me something natural. But what I would like to address is more of the support group and more of what we can do when we have to go to the hospital, more of how we get more of like the Martin Foundation, in different places, because if it wasn't for the Martin Foundation, I have to give them hats off, because when I went to file for my disability, I knew absolutely nothing, and they were going to send someone down to go to court and help speak on my behalf. They said literature. That my doctor actually back there got me in touch with them, and that's how my education with sickle cell has started, because my parents didn't know anything. My friends didn't know anything. My brother wasn't a doctor yet. When he was in med school, he did part of his training in a sickle cell research with it. So, but you don't have doctors like them. So I would like to address one of the things that I had went over when they did have the Sickle Cell Foundation nearer to me was get together and let's find out what doctors is working for you, what doctors isn't. And I don't care if you're in a low income area or if you're in a rich area, the care will still be the same. So we band together and start letting know this is the treatment we got, and get a paper trail with that, and get someone like I was saying, like a Mason Cooley, advocates like the Sickle Cell Hush that would go and not have a one-time meeting with these people, but keep them on track. Well, then that can start to help us out to make sure that we're getting the proper care and not being put on the back burner. Whether we're doing everything that we're doing the ER one time, or whether we have to go to the ER 20 times. It's the ones that's going 20 times that's getting the most mistreatment with them, because they're Adam
they're drug addicts, yeah.
to not be like that.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, because I'm trying to get to all you, and I'm trying to get this, so because we've gone past the time. But is there? I've heard from you, and I've heard from my guest last week, the Martin University is a good resource. Can you type in the message to let us know? Because I think it's important. We're dealing with sickle cell. That maybe those who are on here that are dealing with sickle cell, a resource where they can if they need an advocate, how they can get that. If you know that, can you type that in message? I'm encouraging those who are on here, please share this right here, because you'll know there are a lot of people that are dealing with sickle cell. I'm trying to wrap it up. Let me see, get the rest of the messages. Let me see. Okay, Brother Derek, do you consult with nutritionists also? That's a good question. Thank you.
That's what I am. That's what I am. I'm a naturopathic physician, assistant nutritional person. And so
okay, but I think what she says, even though you are that, and I'm not trying to cut you off, I'm trying to go through here. It's important as a therapist, I consult with other therapists as well. So I guess what they're asking, do you consult with other nutritionists as well? Because I do. Yeah, I will say you're very knowledgeable. I like what I'm hearing. You're saying some good things, and we're not trying to discredit anything. I think you brought a lot of good information, and it sounds like you're knowledgeable. So I feel, but I think it's important. The therapists, we consult with other therapists, nutrition. Do you consult with other nutritionists as well?
Yeah, I'm always listening to the doctor in the natural realm of learning and understanding. And what I don't know, I ask questions for those that get results. So I'm not talking about woe is me. I'm able to ride my bike year round. I'm able to cut tree, lumberjack. I'm able to work. I'm able to do all this and function normally because of what I'm doing. And I knew my body was going downhill in 2012. Now I'm able to do, people look at me now and at my job and say, you're not as sick as you used to be 10, 20 years ago.
Right.
And how is that?
Okay, Christine said this is good. I'm trying to go through because we really try to end at 9 o'clock, so we really gone past it. But Ben said, right, I totally agree with the young lady. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Drinking Bragg's apple cider vinegar and water is not the only thing I do. I still take vitamins and other supplements. Sister Robin Poole says, I personally don't view a supplement as a medicine, and I agree with you. So I would like to know what you think. What do you consider a supplement to be? You know, because when we think of medicine, we think of medicine as a cure. That's isn't that what we think of medicine as a cure? I mean, you know, if we look,
no. Well, see, because that's because we don't have proper understanding. The only thing that the doctor can cure is he has antibiotics. Other than that, they only treat symptoms. And so we are trained to think like that.
Right, I agree.
Okay, so everything else just manage symptoms. But when you look at herbs, that's plant medicine. I'm not talking. That's second level. I'm going to the foundation, the dirt, the minerals,
Okay.
vitamins, amino acids, fatty acids is the foundation. Then herbs come secondary. It's plant medicine. It gives you a better result than man-made pharmaceutical poison jelly beans with 15 side effects per pill. So
Okay.
taking supplementation is what they do to the animals. No animals on the farm are on medicine. They give them what I'm talking about. This came from veterinarian knowledge, which is much smarter than doctors. You got to be a smarter doctor. You have to have better grades to be a veterinarian than a allopathic MD. So
in 60 seconds, can you tell me then how would you define a supplement in 60 seconds? I know
supplement is basically getting in your food what
natural
is
nutrition.
not there. What's not
Right.
there because the way they grow it, the wrong way to make money. The love of money has caused the root of all evil for them to grow food, but they put it in the animal food. So all it is putting what in the dirt what's supposed to be there that we're not getting.
Okay,
And
I'm going to respond to these last three people, and then I'm going to come to you, Sister Lynn. Sister Ron said, nothing like having a well-balanced body. That's so true. Now, Sister Pastor Beverly Boyne, there's no quick fixes. Now, she's a nutritionist as well, and I respect a lot that she's saying. I wish we had more time to address that, because what you're saying, brother, I agree with that the supplements are very good. I do think they can be powerful. Because I encourage sometimes some of my clients, there's certain supplements that can help to reduce their anxiety, help their stress level. There's certain things they can do. Okay, somebody came on. Adrian Smith came on here. So since they come on here, we're gonna bring them. Adrian Smith, welcome to It's My Turn now.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know my picture was going to be on there.
Well, you're on here now, so you're looking good. So ain't nothing to worry about now.
she's my cousin, and she's seen me through a whole bunch of crises. Matter of fact, her brother and her father have had a form of sickle cell too. So the hardest part comes from our side of the family. So she's seen me how I was, but she also sees me how I am.
Okay.
My prayer got me through.
All right, very good. Well, welcome to It's My Turn, Sister Adrian. Did you have anything you want to share with us? You wanted to listen. You came on so you can listen.
I came on so I could listen.
I would think, hey, we're glad to have you. Welcome. Come anytime, all right?
All righty.
It's your turn now. All right. Brother Ben says,
Brother.
Dr. Sabia is dead. Sister Robinson, I'm trying to get your last two comments, and then I'm gonna give you both a chance to wrap things. Oh Lord, it's five more comments. Robinson, let me see. Yes, he was killed because of the truth he exposed. Okay, now we get into conspiracy theories. I don't know what it is, who, if he died or got killed. I don't know. I can neither confirm or deny. Sister Barry, Pastor Barry said the most important thing that anyone can do is assess, and get the root of the problem. That's so true. Thank you for that wisdom. Thank you, Bishop. That was a very educational episode. Sister Roslyn, Oregon is best. God gave us the earth to heal us. We need to go back to farming and learning our land and how to live off the plants, herbs, and whatnot. I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying too, Brother Derek. I'm not discounting what you're saying. Everyone creates what they call a supplement. So there's different people who create different supplements. And so then it's important not to say I'm taking supplements, because we have to know, because sometimes when you go to a health food store, they're saying things that you can buy and they say this is supplement, this is all natural. And we know that it's not all natural. All supplements are not. So you have to, someone said, assess. You have to investigate to know what's best for you. I'm trying to wrap it up, good people. I truly enjoyed the session. All information was great. I think you guys are doing a tremendous job. Okay, Sister Jamie, we're going to close out on your response. Look at the comments. You skipped me again. Look, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you. This is why I keep I'm telling everybody. Now, haven't y'all heard me say I'm trying to get these comments? Now, if I can't see, if my eyesight is not so good, listen. I'm gonna have to bring on Sister Adrian to tell them, Sister Adrian. Tell them that I can't see that well. If I miss it, wasn't intentional. Okay, will you tell that for us?
You see, we got
gonna make you a guest on the program.
Bifocals up so you can see what they saying.
I'm listening. It's coming so fast I can't see. I'm trying to listen and see at the exact same time. So if I ever skip you, let everyone know it's your turn now. It's not intentional. Thank you. Okay. Listen, I'm trying to catch the comments, trying to look at them for each of his own. It depends on your blood type. So I'm gonna have to go back real quick and see. I don't know how I missed you, Sister Jamie. I'm trying to figure out where I missed you at. Sometimes I have had people who told me they have left messages. Okay, I think this might be it. Maybe this is what I missed. This is I think this is technology that would change your words. I would look into your nutrition due to having a A1C 6.2. Someone on here said vinegar and water. I think that's what I missed. So I was able to go back and find that one. So okay, let me see. For each of us on Sister Rawson. Okay. And all right, my glasses are clean this time. It's clean. It's clean. Listen, thank you everyone for thank you, Sister Jamie. I'm glad that I was able to find it this time. I want everyone to know it's not intentional. If I overlook it, it's overlooked. If I don't respond, send another comment. Send again. That way I'll get a chance to see it as well. Okay, I'm going to give brother Natural Solutions is what he wants to be called, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds to wrap his final comment. And again, if there's any information that you can give us, please put it in the message after the program's over, how we can get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you to find out more. Because I do say a lot of things you said, I do agree with, and I think you said some good things. I think you both said, but I think assess, as Pastor Boring said. But I do think we have to, investigate as well, because we have to know. And then there's some people's bodies can't handle certain things. Some people can handle natural things, so they have to know what their body is able to handle. Okay, let me see. Thank you for this very informative conversation. Thank you, Deacon Middleton. Appreciate that. I said I'll stop. Awesome program, everyone. The herbs are the healing of the nation. That's in the Bible. Okay, she's spirited now. Thank you, Sister Rosa. Okay, so Brother Derek, give us 60 seconds and wrap it up.
Okay, there was a Dr. Glidden. He said he investigated. He worked for vitamin companies. He surveyed 200 vitamin companies, top vitamin companies in the world, and he said out of his efficacy tests, only 3 vitamin companies passed the test, and the one that I deal with, longevity, was miles ahead, like light years ahead of the other 2. And so we are able to reverse 600 to 900 health challenges naturally. And people, it's really not fair until you go to my website and listen to the information, because opinion without understanding and knowledge, it took me years to learn what I do, and study, and hours and years. And so until you really step into my world, it's like going to outer space. We don't know what we don't know exists, because we don't know. It's too far out. Right. So go to my website, stopsickness.info, stopsickness.info. If you have any health challenge and you want to know the root cause on how to reverse it, and come back on this show and give some results, if you're type 2 diabetes, whatever it is, and then I can boast and brag then, because it'll be on the show. Call me, 317-709-8045. I mean, I'm very confident, because I do this all the time, 7 days a week, and I get results that will blow your head off. I said it again, blow your mind. 317-709-8045, and I can help you. Sickle cell or whatever.
Did you ever tell us the actual name of the product, Brother Derek?
Well, yes, the company's longevity, but there's different products. It's like a pharmacy almost of nutritional things. So I don't like to expose people to my website where they're looking at 1,000 products. I talk with them, and then I assess what they need, and then I open them up to the website. They'll get access to it. But after I tell them, okay, you got this issue, this is what causes it, this is what reverses it, this is what you need. And then you can look at everything, but I don't like to throw people into the 12-foot until they can swim a little bit in the 3-foot. Because they'll just buy something and go crazy. They'll buy something they don't need.
Right. Okay. I will say this right here. Whatever you decide to do, please check with your health professional. Because I've known people who have taken natural supplements, but they check with their doctor so they can measure it. So you want to, you don't want to just take one supplement without refer. If you have a competent doctor, someone you have confidence in, like Sister Delane, her doctor, her mom was 3 states, right? 3 states. 3 states. So you just want to make sure you have someone, it's good to have checks and balances, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's always good to have checks and balances.
But you got to remember, the doctors only have 6 weeks of nutritional training, and they're not required to test on it. Ask any pre-med student. That means they know less than a fraction of what I know, because they only have 6 weeks of nutritional training, and they're not required to test. And we do this for years. So most people don't know that. So when they ask their doctor, they just give you an answer. They're clueless. Because I help doctors,
Okay,
and they admit this to me privately.
Okay, but what I'm saying is the doctors, they have enough knowledge to check if your blood pressure is going up or your blood pressure is going down, your blood sugar is going up, your blood sugar is going down. Has to be the same. This is what I'm saying. They may not know all the nutritional things unless there's some nutritionist doctors, or chiropractors or someone like that. So that's what I'm saying. Check with them. All right, y'all. They still I'm trying to get off here. Great advice. Check with MD. Use wisdom. So good. Great. They also deal with biochemistry, biology. But y'all, man, you are confident. Okay, she said they're saying you're confident. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Sister Delaney, it's your turn. Give us 60 seconds to wrap it up.
Whether it's a doctor, until Jesus Christ.
Take your time, because I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Without Jesus, then we can't accomplish anything.
All right.
Then make
she
sure
brought us back home to church, y'all.
Make sure you go to the Lord in prayer. It's because of Him and Him alone that I am still here today. He's the one that has healed my body. He's the one that has given me breath. He's the one that has allowed me to get up out the bed, and it's Him that has allowed me not to have to be in the hospital for 20 some years. So I give all the glory, all the praise to my Lord and Savior, my Redeemer, my protection, my refuge, my healer, Jesus Christ.
Amen. Very good. I will say, in conjunction with what you're saying, Bible said, lean out on understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge Him, He'll direct your path. So sometimes we need to ask God. There's so much information. There's so much disinformation out here in the natural, the health world, the political world. We've got to ask God to give us direction. Ask God to show us the truth, and ask God to give us wisdom. Either way you go, and pray about it. Pray about where it's sitting, because back to our subject, sickle cell is a very serious disease and affects people very, various ways. It affects different people. And like I said, we want to remember our host, guest from last week. She was suffering some pain today, and she gave a tremendous testimony. Anytime you give a tremendous testimony, the enemy is going to try to fight you. And so I thank you too for being on here. I pray that God will continue to strengthen your bodies, and you both are giving us a host of information, resources to think about, different avenues, even some of these, Brother Ben, apple cider vinegar, he's told. So we got a whole host of choices. So it's always good to have a number of choices. So we have choices, and whatever works for you, pray about and ask God to help you. Listen, God bless. We're glad for all of our guests on today, including Sister Smith being our guest on here as well. But we thank you once again for joining this episode of It's My Turn Now. Please share this with your friends, share with your family. Even after it's over with, please feel free to tag, give comments. We appreciate your time. We thank you for coming on. We thank you for joining us for this episode of It's My Turn. God bless you. Have a blessed week. Be blessed in God.